I'm in Shenandoah National Park, and this is the White Oak Canyon parking area. It's a large parking area here in the Skyland complex. Yep, there it is, my little red car. Not a whole lot of people here right now, but it's early in the day. And I am going to head up here and go into the Skyland complex up near the horse stables and see if I can find the Appalachian Trail and hike a section of it that I've never hiked before, south, which is this way, down to Hawksbill Gap and back. On the way back, I may take a different trail. I may take Crescent Rock on the way back. The elevation here is 3,500 feet. One mile into my hike, the elevation here is 3,500 feet, been fairly flat. I there's the AT right there, and stepped off it. This is the first spot I've really seen that had any sort of view at all. This side of the mountain's pretty steep here. I'm talking about the part that I'm standing on. Let's see if I get over here, maybe we can see Hawksbill. There it is right there. .5 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 3320. I've been descending some, and there is a signpost here. The band tells me that if I come up here and take a left, I will go up to Skyline Drive in 50 yards, and that is, I'm just below the Timber Hollow overlook. So this little turnoff will get you up to Timber Hollow overlook. But we're going to go straight and continue on the AT towards Hawksbill Gap. Just south of that turnoff to Timber Hollow overlook is this spring. It's running, but just barely. But it's been in there for a while. That's an old steel pipe. And that's where I came from the Timber Hollow area, Timber Hollow overlook. And we're going to keep heading south this direction. .4 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 3420, and this signpost here tells you that if you turn left and head up this way, it takes you to Crescent Rock Overlook. I'm planning to come back this way and go up to that overlook and then pick up the Crescent Rock Trail. But for now, we're going to continue on this way to Hawksbill Gap. It's about another half a mile. .8 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 3330, and this is the intersection with a little connector. Goes up to the left here, up to the Hawksbill Gap parking area. This is Hawksbill Gap, and I'll walk up there and get a couple of shots for you. It's where people start their hikes up to Hawksbill Summit. Some people call it Lower Hawksbill parking, because there's another lot further south that's higher up that they call Upper Hawksbill. So to keep going straight, this is the AT heading south. You can bushwhack down way down in there. That's Timber Hollow. I did that a few years ago. That's I've got a video on that. There's an old homestead down there, and here's where I came from. And I'm going to head back that way until I get to Crescent Rock Overlook. But let's go up here and just check out the Skyline Drive and the parking lot. .4 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 3420. Pretty flat hike. And here's the intersection with the connector that goes up to Crescent Rock Overlook. So I'm going to head up this way and we'll check out the overlook. I'm going to look for an abandoned trail up here, and then we'll find Crescent Rock Trail and take that back towards Skyland. .6 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 3530. I'm up on Crescent Rock Overlook. That's looking to the west. It's a decent parking area here. Skyline Drive's up there. Right there is Hawksbill Summit. That's the highest peak in the park. So up here at the northern end of Crescent Rock Overlook, you'll see a little trail. You come in here, and there's a signpost here, and if you go to the left, that says Appalachian Trail. That's the way I came up here. But they wouldn't have put a post in here just for that. And you'll notice something there scratched off. I got a feeling this is the trail to the abandoned trail that takes you up to Betty's Rock, to the summit. So I'll come back. I don't really feel like bushwhacking through all this stuff in the summer, but I'll come back in the winter and we'll do this little bushwhack up to the summit and see what we can see up there at the top of Betty's Rock. Well, I found Crescent Rock Trail. Had to cross over Skyline Drive, and a lot of mountain laurel up here. So I'm following this north back towards my car. My car is in the White Oak Trailhead parking lot, which is part of the Skyland complex. So I'm going to follow this as Crescent Rock Trail. I'm going to follow this north for about a mile or so, and that should put me onto the Limberlost Trail, and then I can follow that on up until I get up to some horse trails that take me right on up to back to the stables in Skyland. .8 miles into my hike. I'm at 3290 elevation, and there's a Crescent Rock Trail. That's where I just came from, and here's a signpost, and this is the intersection with the Limberlost. Now the Limberlost Trail is probably the easiest trail to hike in the whole park. Look, it's got cinders down, it's pretty flat. And look at that, it's got like footbridges. So I'm going to pull out a secondary map I have to decide which way I want to go. I could turn left here and just go down to the parking lot and just follow Skyline Drive back, or I could go to the right and maybe loop around that way. So let me get out my maps and see what I want to do. Okay, I decided to turn right. This is going to lengthen my hike a little bit, but it's a nice day out here. And I'm going to follow the Limberlost around until I get to the White Oak Canyon Trail, and then turn left and follow that back to the parking lot. Look at this. Every so often you even have a little bench you can sit down here, rest your weary feet. And you got cinders to walk on. Man, this is so sweet. Okay, well, I followed Limberlost and then turned left on this trail. This is White Oak Canyon Trail. So this is a major hiking trail to get down into White Oak Canyon. So I'm following it uphill back up to the parking lot, which is where my car is. This is a map of today's hike. The quadrangle name is Big Meadows, 1994. And I hiked a stretch of the Appalachian Trail just south of the Skyland Resort. The Skyland Resort's right here, and this is Skyline Drive. And I parked just at the southern end of the resort right here on the east side. This is the White Oak Canyon parking lot. It's a large lot. The White Oak Canyon Trail, which is right here, is a very popular trail. And so there's a large parking lot there. I parked there, and then I walked back up into the resort up to where the Appalachian Trail comes through, which is right here. And this area right here is where the horse stables are. Got on the AT and started hiking south, round past Pollock Knob, down this way, past Timber Hollow Overlook. Now, of course, a map's not three-dimensional, but you're quite a few feet below the overlook. The overlook's above you as you go past it, but if you look up, you can see it. On down past Betty's Rock, past Crescent Rock Overlook and Crescent Rock, and down to Hawksbill Gap. When I got here, and Hawksbill Gap's another very popular area because it's a starting point for people who want to hike up to Hawksbill, which is right here. This is the highest peak in Shenandoah Park, 4,050 feet. Took a couple pictures here at Hawksbill Gap, turned around, and started back. Now, when I got to Crescent Rock, I went ahead and climbed up to the overlook right here. Got a few pictures, looked for and located this old abandoned trail which takes you up to the summit of Betty's Rock. That's a bushwhack. I'll go back in the wintertime and do that short hike. Crossed over Skyline Drive and got on the Crescent Rock Trail and followed this back. Now originally when I got to here, I was just going to keep right on going up this way in pink, but I changed my mind and turned right and went around part of the Limberlost Trail here, across the bridge until I got to here. When I got to here, then you turn onto White Oak Canyon Trail and follow that all the way back up to my car. Nice hike. It was hot in the valley, but it was only about 70 degrees, and it was pretty breezy up there. You'll see in the videos, half the time you can't hear what I'm saying because there's so much wind. Ended up being 6.1 miles and a total ascent of 1,020 feet. And that was the hike for today.